Hey lazy girl. So you want to make t-shirts, but the thought of messy screen printing inks, learning how to burn screens for screen printing, and weeding a crap ton of vinyl just doesn't sound very appealing. You don't want to spend your time making things to make the shirts. You just want to make the freaking shirts. I got you. I wanted to start a t-shirt business for more than 3 years. But every time I started to research how to do it, I got overwhelmed with tutorials for screen printing and heat transfer vinyl and sublimation and all of these things. And to be honest, I got turned off every single time I researched. I looked into screen printing and I thought, okay, if I do it myself, I have to learn how to burn the screens. I have to figure out what kind of inks I need. And then just the mess of the screen printing inks was an off-put for me because I don't have a garage in my home. So everything I do would have to be done right here in my home office. And I just really didn't like the idea of having all of that mess and everything in my office. So then I looked into heat transfer vinyl, and the thought of using my Cricut, which I already had, to cut every single design for every single shirt and weed all of those designs didn't sit well with me either. I didn't really like the idea of having to do that. Plus, the quality of the design was very limited. The vinyl isn't the best quality in the world. It lasts, but it doesn't last forever. And if I'm gonna do something, I wanna do it to the best quality that I can. And also, I wanted to be able to create really awesome graphics for my shirts. And I didn't wanna be limited by screen printing ink colors and heat transfer vinyl colors. I knew that if I did screen printing or heat transfer vinyl or anything like that, I was limited by the colors I could use. I was limited in the detail that I could do on the shirts. And again, the mess and the time it would take to actually create the thing that I need to create my shirt, it just overwhelmed me. And then one day, while researching more about the t-shirt business, because it kept coming up in my brain, I was researching and I found a video by Stan Banks of T-Shirt Side Hustle. And he was demonstrating how to use your heat press with something called Supacolor transfers. And I thought, could this be? Is this my soulmate? Can I actually make t-shirts now? And the answer was yes. Yes, I can. So what do you need to start a t-shirt business with Supacolor designs? It's really quite easy. First, you need a heat press. Now, I started with a fancier Studio 15 by 15 heat press that was about $200 on Amazon, and it worked just fine. It did everything I needed it to do. It is limiting in the fact that you can't do oversized designs like a full front or full back of a shirt because it's only 15 inches. And some of the designs you can create on Supacolor are bigger than that. So it is a little bit limiting in that regard, but it's budget friendly. It's a great starter heat press. There are quite a few others that you can get for a lower dollar amount as well, in the $200 to $300 range. What I don't recommend is that you buy one of the Cricut handheld presses because you're just not going to get the pressure that you need to do a good consistent press for the time it takes to press a Supacolor transfer into your shirt. So it has to be an actual heat press that can clamp down on your shirt and lock. The one that I use now is actually a Wallapress Pro 16 by 20 heat press. And it has a slide out drawer. This is about $1,000. You can purchase this at Heat Transfer Warehouse, and the link to shop all of the heat presses at Heat Transfer Warehouse is down below in the description of this video. The next thing that you need is obviously blanks. You have to have a shirt to put a design on. So I started off using Gildan sweatshirts. I also started with Comfort Colors t-shirts like the one I have on. And there's a lot of different other shirts that I use like Bella Canvas and Next Level as well. So figure out what you want and buy some blanks. The next thing you're gonna need is a design. You can either create this yourself. I actually have a really great tutorial on my YouTube channel that I'll link to in the description below and in the little box up here. And it shows you how to use Canva, a free photo editing and graphic design tool, to create graphics for your t-shirts. It's how I create pretty much all of the graphics that I use in my shop. And you can also purchase graphics. You can either pay a graphic designer to create something for you. You can purchase, there's a ton of different design options available on sites like Etsy Etsy, Creative Market, all over the place. So figure out what you want your designs to look like and get those lined up. For Supacolour, you're gonna need a high resolution vector file, or you can use a PNG with a transparent background that is at least 300 DPI. And the last thing you're gonna need is a Supacolour account. So let's pop into the computer and I'll show you how to set that up. Here we are on the Supacolour website. Just go to supacolor.com and you're gonna click Get Started to create an account. Now, one of the cool things is when you create a new account with Supacolour, they automatically send you a free sample kit that's gonna have one of each type of transfer. They have several different types and we can talk about that more in another video. So all you do is fill out the information here, whether it's personal or professional use. Fill out your information with your company name, street address, let them know how many heat presses you have, all of that fun stuff. And then right here in the box where it says, how did you hear about us? You can click on YouTube and you can tell them that Kirsten Thompson from Words and Whimsy sent you. And then you just click to submit and they will get you activated and send you an email when your account is ready to go. I'm gonna log into my account and just show you what it looks like once you're inside. So this is what the dashboard looks like when you get your account set up for Supacolour, and this is where you'll go to create new jobs, track the jobs that you've already submitted, and reorder. If we wanted to add a brand new job, we're gonna click right here on Add a New Job. You'll fill in your information. Now there's a requested ship date, and if you are in a time crunch, this is the ship date that they estimate it would ship on a normal processing time. But if you have to have it shipped by that day, you check this box must. But only check that if it's 100% necessary that your order is shipped that day, because they do get a lot of orders. And if it's not super urgent, allow them to take another day or two if they need it to get your order done for you. And then you select how you want it shipped, which they'll set up for you when you create your account. And then this is where you put in your PO number, your job description, and any comments that you want. And then you click on Add New Transfer. Now the way that Supacolour transfers are priced, they're priced by size and quantity, regardless of color and detail. So you can have a million different colors in your design and really fine detail, and it'll still print and be the same price as if it were just one color. It's just based on size. So when you click your price code, you're gonna see the different sizes and different types of transfers. So there's a lot of different ones. The ones that are most common are the wearables, and that's the WE. So you can see the sizes here for 2.5 by 2.5, 4 by 4, and so on. These are all wearable. So let's just pick one for starters. You're gonna name your transfer, and then you're gonna tell Supacolour what garment type and color you're gonna put this on. This is really important. So they try to make sure that when they create your transfer, it's gonna look really good on the garment that you're putting it on. Fun fact, they actually test your transfer on a garment before they ship it out to you. So it's just very important that you put it on there. So you can tell them comfort colors and whatever colors. As much information as you can tell them is really good. So we've selected an 8.3 inch by 11.7 inch wearable transfer. The size here is actually the dimensions of our artwork, and it needs to fit within the dimensions of our transfer sheet. We might have something like 8 by 11. So our actual artwork dimensions are 8 inches by 11 inches. It's gonna fit on an 8.3 inch by 11.7 inch transfer. There's our price code. We're gonna order 20 of those, and it's gonna tell us our total, and this is where we go upload our artwork and create a job. You can order a bunch of different transfers within one order, so you just keep adding new transfer, fill all of this information again, and when you're ready to go, you just create your job. So while you're waiting on your Supacolour transfers to get shipped to you, what can you be working on? Let's head over to the heat press and I'll show you. It's really important that you learn how to adequately use your heat press before you start pressing garments to sell for customers. So while you're waiting on your first Supacolour transfers to arrive, you can start practicing with your heat press. The biggest issue that I see most people make is that they don't know how to set adequate pressure. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. Now I'll go ahead and tell you, I did not know how to do this when I first started. I actually had to spend some time on the phone with one of the amazing reps at Supacolour for them to walk me through how to set the pressure on my heat press, and it's a lot easier than you might think. But my first few presses were pretty terrible. The good news is when you do receive your heat transfer designs from Supacolour, they send you a few extra because they want you to test press. So I always have a test garment ready to go, and I do a test press of every single new design that comes into my shop and make sure that I know how to press it accurately and that the heat presses work the way that I want to before I start making them for customers. So let me show you how to set the pressure on your heat press. Now, every heat press that you get like this should have a knob on it that you can use to set the pressure. So this knob right here is what you're gonna turn left or right to set the pressure based on the garment that you have on your heat press. So for this one, if I turn it to the right, it tightens the pressure and makes it clamp down stronger. If I turn it to the left, it's less pressure. And so when you are setting the pressure, the first thing that I want to recommend is that you do it with your heat press cold. So this is how you test your pressure and make sure it's set and you understand how to use your heat press. Before you even turn your heat press on, you're going to put a garment on here that you're going to use, and we're going to use a Gildan sweatshirt as an example. So all you're going to do is put this on your heat press, just like you would if you were pressing a Supacolor transfer onto the garment. So we're going to put this onto our heat press, and with our heat press cold, we're going to set the pressure. So we're going to close this down and try to close it. And it's not locking for me. So that means that the pressure is set too high. So I'm going to do just a quarter of a turn and try it again. I'm going to lessen the pressure by a quarter of a turn. So I turned my knob a quarter of a turn to the left, and I'm going to try it again. It's still a little tight, so we're going to do another quarter of a turn, and that locks down really well. So the goal here is you want to make sure that your heat press is going to lock down, but not so much that you have to force it with your whole body weight, because you could break your heat press. If it closes too easily, like that, if it closes and locks too easily, you need to increase the pressure. You want to make sure that when your heat press is closed and locked on your garment, that you're not able to move this at all. You want to make sure that you wouldn't be able to get a piece of paper in here and pull it out. When you're setting your pressure, just play with your heat press a few times while it's cold with different kinds of garments, t-shirts, thinner t-shirts, sweatshirts like this, until you get used to adjusting the pressure on your heat press before you do your first presses. So once your Supacolor transfers come in, they're going to come in a Ziploc bag, and they're going to have instructions on them like you see right here. This is an example of what the label is going to look like, and it's going to tell you that it's a wearable transfer. It's going to have a QR code, which you can scan with your phone and reorder, and it has a barcode right here that you can also scan to get instructions for how to press. Typically, it's 320 degrees for about 12 seconds, and you want to make sure your pressure is set properly. And then all you can do is turn transfers like this into shirts like this. It's that easy. So you're all set to start your t-shirt business. Supacolor transfers alleviate the need for messy screen printing inks. They alleviate the need to learn how to burn screens or to weed a ton of different vinyl designs so you can do a shirt every single time you get an order. And it just makes it super easy, to be honest. You just submit your artwork to Supacolor, they send you your Supacolor transfers, you press them on a shirt, and you ship them out to your customer. It's quite easy, especially if you're a lazy girl like me. So if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel down below so you can get notifications every time I post new content like this. And make sure you check the links in the description, because I'm going to give you a discount to the Words and Whimsy shop and show you where you can get your own Supacolor transfers and heat press and all the things. So I'll see you next time. Bye.